This is Ian Hamilton, Field Technical Manager for the West. I'm down here on the 23rd of June at the Spring Malting Barley Trials and Demonstration site. You can see things have moved on since the last visit. Some clear differences in varieties here. The one you can see in the foreground there is the heritage variety Plumage Archer, which shows how spring barley used to look. So it's now 18 days since the last sprays, fungicides were applied on the 5th of June, and just over 4 weeks since the last growth regulator was applied. So we'll see what sort of differences we can see. So in the foreground we've got some different varieties. On the left we have fungicide untreated, and on the right we have fungicide treated. So we start off with the heritage varieties Plumage Archer and Golden Promise. Clearly, as you've seen, the Plumage Archer is very tall and leggy. If we look into the untreated plots, firstly on the Golden Promise, you can see quite a lot of disease. There's both mildew hypersensitivity, and a little bit of net blotch down here. And similarly in the Plumage Archer, again quite a lot of dead and diseased tissue towards the bottom, with both mildew and a little bit of net blotch coming in. If we go over to the treated side, you can immediately see we've got more green leaf. So whilst the lower leaves are senescing, you can clearly see we've got more green leaf here right the way down to leaf 3, and again in the Golden Promise we've also got more green leaf right the way down. So I would expect that to show a yield difference at the end of the day. The other notable thing, again I saw this on the site last time, is we've got quite a few pockets of BYDV infection from early aphid colonies. They're dotted around the site. It's probably not going to impact on yield, but it's just worth noting. If we move further up, we've got the more conventional varieties here now, starting with Propino and Concerto, a couple of the older varieties. So if we first look at the Propino, we'll look at the untreated here. You can see that there is some senescence at the bottom, but not a lot of disease as such. We've had obviously rainfall in the last couple of weeks, but there's no high levels of disease. If we look across at the treated side, slightly greener again. We've definitely got more green leaf here with lower levels of disease. Just finally, just a quick look at the more modern variety. So Laureate, very popular variety for brewing and distilling. And again, now if we look in the untreated, you can actually see there's very little disease as such. There is some dead tissue at the bottom, the older leaves senescing off, but the disease levels are very low. This is probably just as clean as the treated older varieties. And if we look across here in the treated plot, again possibly slightly more green leaf, but we'll come back in a week or two and see if this has moved on further along with all the other varieties. And here we've got our variety seed rate growth regulator interaction. So we've got Laureate and Tungsten, the new dual purpose variety from Syngenta. We've drilled at 300, 400 and 500 seeds per square metre, and then we've looked at different growth regulator programs, from untreated through to a straight Ethafon applied a month ago, and then a sequence of low dose modus followed by Ethafon. And we'll be monitoring that to see how it develops. But what you can clearly see are certain plots which look taller. These are the no growth regulator plots, and from some quick measurements just done, it would appear that the Tungsten is more responsive to growth regulator than the Laureate. We'll do some more height measurements and then quality etc at the end of the day, but you can clearly see the untreated Tungsten plots, probably more so than the untreated Laureate plots. Over to the right, just very quickly again, in the commercial crop of laureate, that is where we've got our nitrogen growth regulator interaction. And again, you can see where the growth regulator did and did not go on. The differences are smaller. And then beyond that, we have the replicated fungicide trial in the commercial crop, which isn't showing high levels of disease at the moment. So that's all for now. We will come back in a week or two with a final update for the season.